The narcissist future faking, where a narcissist is going to sell you an illusion of a future that you would like so that that individual narcissist can get their needs met in that present moment in time. Whether a narcissist directly sells you the illusion, such as let's get married, or whether they indirectly sell you an illusion such as, oh, it'd be nice if we could get married one day, to lead you into jumping to a conclusion that serves the narcissist. So when you call them out on it, they can turn around and say, well, I never actually said that. And as they never actually said that they were going to get married, as they just said, wouldn't it be nice if we did one day, they stand in their truth, while we are the ones left questioning and doubting ourselves. A narcissist future faking is a hideous experience to live through because it leaves us clinging on to that hope of something that was never meant to be. Yet we can't see reality through the narcissist's gaslighting lies, because a narcissist is selling us dreams of our future that we can't call them out on those lies because it's not actually technically happened yet, to get their needs met in the present. And they are very convincing in the ways in which they go around doing this. In the love bombing, in the reward stage, they are selling us an illusion, a false identity of who they are, a false future of what we believe, we are led to believe that we could achieve with them. They often make out that they want these very same things too, so we don't want to let them down. Not only do we want to not give up on our hopes, we don't want to let them down, which keeps us tied to them way longer than we ever should be. Or during the relationship, they future fake to hide from what's truly happening, to hide us from what is truly happening, to distract us from what is happening, to escape whatever's happening in that present moment in time by getting us to focus on a future event that's not happening. Or they future fake in the Hoover stage of the relationship to suck us back in because they want something from us. Narcissistic people can be some of the most exploitative people you can ever meet. Therefore, they future fake to get their needs met, to influence us into serving them at that present moment in time on the belief that we are working together to achieve something in the future. Not realizing that the narcissist is using our future to work against us to get their needs met in the present. Narcissists future fake to distract us from the truth of what is happening, from how painful our reality is. If something is going wrong within the relationship in that present moment in time and we're trying to work it out with them, they'll promise us a holiday in the future to get us to focus on the holiday and not the pain. And as we ourselves prefer pleasure, it's easy to focus on the future event than it is on the painful reality. Narcissists future fake to persuade us into doing something that we might not want to do. Emotional blackmail, emotional bribery. Well, if we do this today, then next week we shall do that. Now, in a healthy relationship, this actually happens. It's a form of compromise. If you don't like going to the cinema, and if they don't like going for walks, you might promise to go to the cinema with them and they promise to go for a walk with you. Give and take, because you care about each other, you respect each other, you want to get to know each other. Sitting in the cinema isn't that bad, going for a walk isn't that bad. Compromise, mutual understanding. With a narcissist, they might like going to the cinema, so they're going to convince you to go to the cinema with them, even though you don't want to go and don't want to see that movie, with the false promise that next week they'll go for that walk with you. However, when next week comes, they'll come along with, I never said that. well, I don't really fancy a walk. Oh, the weather's looking a bit. And then we'll come up with excuse after excuse to justify why they're not going to hold up their end of the bargain. And because this can be done in healthy relationships, that give and take, it makes it all the more confusing when it's done in a narcissistic relationship and they don't deliver. You've held up your end of the bargain. You did something that, yeah, okay, it's not that bad, but it's not something you really wanted to do, in the hopes that they would do something that's not that bad, but not something they really wanted to do. Or in a healthy relationship, people might say, well, you go to the cinema with your friends, I'll go for a walk with my friends. Whereas a narcissist does not want you doing it with your friends. They'll happily go and do it with their friends. However, they like to isolate you from support. Narcissists future fake to give us that false hope so that we don't recognise that we're hanging on to absolutely nothing. And the thing about future faking is sometimes they will breadcrumb us, sometimes they will deliver on some of these future fakes to confuse us all the more when they don't deliver on them. They are false promises. They make a promise and then they break a promise. Then they find a way to justify why they broke that promise in such a way where they blame us. So we're the ones left questioning and doubting ourselves and not their broken promise towards us. Narcissistic people mirror others. They get to know all your likes and all your dislikes so that they can use these very things against you. If you want to get married, they want to get married. If you don't want to get married, they don't want to get married. If you want to travel the world, they want to travel the world. If you want to visit the seaside, they want to visit the seaside while they're future faking with you. But as it's not what they truly want, they're not going to commit to these things. They're only saying these things because they're wanting to extract something from you. And as soon as they've got that thing they wanted from you, they're no longer interested in those promises they made to you because it's not something they wanted. They mirrored what you wanted and then sold it to you, packaged it up all nice and shiny that you're going to achieve these things together, to let you down time and time again. In the love bombing, they might claim they've never met anyone like you before, that you should get married, you should have children, they should move in, half the cost of the bills, and they justify it so that it makes sense to do what they're recommending, when really they're rushing you into moving in because they need a place to stay. Or they'll be convincing you to give up your job so that they can have a financial hold over you. Or they'll convince you to work more while they work less. And they will justify the reason why they're doing this when the reason is they've got a financial hold over you. So it's difficult to leave them. Once a narcissist has got their foot in the door, it's very hard to shift them straight back out. Narcissists future fake using finances. If I can just borrow this money off you, or we can do this in the future, I promise I'll pay you back. Only they blow the money, you can't do that in the future, and they never pay you back. And they come up with some random justification as to why it's your fault that they never paid you back, such as, I never said I'd pay you back, or, well, we're a couple, surely you should just give it to me, because in a narcissist mindset, what's yours is mine and what's mine's my own. They don't see the give and take. They might say it in a moment to get something from you, or they'll play the victim. They'll be, oh, my ex messed with my credit, and if we have this car, then I can take you to more places. So let's put this car in your name, and then we can do this, that, and the other together. And they sell it up in a pretty package, and you go for it, and then they never pay you the money for the loan for the car. They never take you to the places they said they would take you to in the car because they've got the car, and you're the one that's left feeling like you've been exploited because you've just been exploited. But they do it in such a pretty way, it's difficult to recognise that someone who claims to love and care about you is going to hurt you in that way, especially when they meet you and say, I'd never hurt you, my ex did this, that and the other to me. So you feel sorry for them, you feel compassion towards them. Oh, I had such a terrible childhood, my parents were this, that and the other. So it pulls on our heartstrings, it pulls on our empathy. We care, we want to help them out. Oh, nobody's ever helped me out. So we want to be the one that helps them out, that shows them that genuine people do exist, only for them to take advantage of our helpfulness, to take advantage of our kindness, to serve themselves. In the discard, if a narcissist isn't fully sure of their new supply, they might say, I love you, I just need a break from you. I'm just a little bit stressed out. I don't want to take it out on you, so I just need a bit of time. But we will work it through. We will get back together to keep you hanging on there in the background while they go and see whether the new supply is worth it. Narcissists love to future fake in the Hoover. All those things they promised you that they never delivered, they're going to come at you again in the Hoover. Let's get married. Let's have a baby. Or those that are a bit more subtle that you can't quite get to grips with, where they'll say, I think we should go to counselling together, which pulls on the fact that your willingness to help them, your willingness to support them. So you think, oh, look, see, they can see the error of their ways. We can work this through together. We can help each other out. Yes, I'll go to counselling. Or their false promises of change. I can see where I went wrong. I will change. So we believe we can be the ones to help them change, for them to change just long enough to get us right where they want us, and then they revert back into who they truly are. That toxic person you see when you say no, that is who they are. Do not doubt yourself when they play nice. They play nice to exploit. Future faking causes that cognitive dissonance within our mind, that confusion, that brain fog. We're the ones left feeling hurt and frustrated because we are living one reality which is not matching the reality that's being sold to us. However, sometimes with the narcissist breadcrumbing, they will deliver on some of those things to confuse us when they don't. And when they don't deliver, they find a way to blame us. They find a way to fail to communicate with us about it. They fall silent on us, or they accuse us of, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot you were perfect, as they play the victim. So we feel bad for upsetting and hurting their feelings and try to make it up to them for them upsetting ours. They lead us into believing that we've let them down, so that we don't recognise that they are the ones letting us down. Not only that, but narcissists will do it in such a way of, I'm sorry, if only you. So we believe that if we just work a little bit harder, if we just try and explain it to them like this, if we just give them that space, if we just do that, if we do all out to help them, if we go all out to help them, they will be the person they claimed themselves to be. You do not change a narcissist. Narcissists change on you depending on what their requirements of you are at that given moment in time. If they want something from you, they're going to put that charismatic charm on. They're going to sell you the illusion. If they feel criticism by you, they're going to have that rage. They're going to fall silent. If they feel scorned by you, they're going to seek to punish you. They're going to seek to hurt you. And all of it is who they are. Their admiration-seeking phase, when they're seeking that attention, when they're seeking that support, when they're seeking that roof over their head, when they're seeking that money, and their envious phase, when they're seeking to hurt, control, punish. Well, they're trying to control throughout the entire relationship. It's who they are. When it comes to self-help from future faking, we have to recognise that those who let us down, the more we let them, the more they will let us down. We have to let go of those who repeatedly break promises on us. We can't call them out and expect them to change into who they claim themselves to be. We have to learn to recognise people for who they are. And if they continue to make promises, to break promises, just because people can make a promise and then life gets caught up, at some point they would make good of that promise they made to you. With a narcissist, they rarely to never make good of that promise they made to you, only if they need to suck you back in to their games. We have to learn to create our own dreams and walk alongside people. There's nothing wrong with achieving dreams with people, but walk alongside them. Don't rely on somebody else to deliver your dream. Create your dream, and you can create them with other people, but walk alongside each other to do so in a way where you lift each other up, help each other out. If someone is all out sabotaging you, they are not the person for you. Let go. Sometimes we have to let go of people so that we can find ourselves and find how we want to journey through our life. There is nothing wrong with having dreams. There's nothing wrong with having desires. We just have to learn not to rely on other people to deliver them. We have to learn to rely on ourselves to achieve them and get to know people for who they are, what they want out of life, not what they sell us, who we are and what we would like out of life. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments. If you're looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers, and your continued support of the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissist personality disorder, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with in your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. Go out there, create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.